Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of What the Quote. I'm Tawana. I'm your hostess with the mostest for our segment today, and I'm really excited about the quote that I chose because it is from someone who I would be willing to bet that we all know and perhaps love. The quote is if something, if everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. By Beyonce. So, I wrote a little theme song. Here it is. Then I'm going to discuss the quote.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.
Oh my goodness. So I'm very, very excited about the quote because I have a special relationship with uh, perfect, that word. And I just want to chat a little bit about it today. Um, and before I do that, we're going to dance a little bit because, it increases your energy and reduces stress. Y'all dancing with me? I'm sure dancing. I love some music. Love, love, love. I was excited about this quote because I was thinking, we are in very unique times being in 2021. There is a lot of carryover from 2020, which really is very personalized. For some people, it has been the last 12 months have been very tragic through loss. Some of it has changed because some people are working from home while they may have spent years going to a 9 to 5. Yet and still other people have really lost a lot in some of the natural disasters that we've had. I mean, we've had a lot of stuff going on this last year. And I really wanted to talk about this quote because I believe that some of us look at our lives and maybe things that we have experienced, and we are very quick to point out all the horrible things that it created. And we are, sometimes when people ask us how we're doing as a result of something that has happened, we only see the hurt, the heartache, the pain, and the some of the learning lessons come a little bit slower than some of the pain that we have experienced. And I thought this quote was very unique from Beyonce that says, "If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow." And I think it is very interesting because I would almost be willing to bet that there is a group of people who believe that since she is Beyonce, that her life is smooth sailing and that it's perfect and that, um, everything goes her way. And while I'm sure that is true to a certain extent, because when people say Beyonce, um, that is a certain, brings a certain amount of clout. But I thought it was very interesting that this is a quote of hers because it seems as if she's recognizing that, first of all, nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And that when it's the imperfection of life and of our choices that really create an environment for us to grow. So I wanted to start off by defining what perfect means. And so I just, typed it in on the Google Webster's version of definition. And it says that perfect is having all, and I am stressing all, having all of the required or desirable elements. And so the second part of the definition is making completely free of faults or defects. And now just listen to that, completely free of faults and defects. I'm just not sure that there are a lot of people, circumstances, or situations that are completely free of fault or defects. And so when we're thinking about, we want things to be perfect, the perfect situation, or the perfect mate, or the perfect job, that really is a heavy load to carry because that means that it is totally free of fault or defects. Who is that? I, it's only Jesus for me, but I don't know what it is for you. But the fact that there are a lot of us who think that our situations need to be absolutely perfect before we move or before we take a certain step or go in another direction or go a different path. That might not be the best thought process because that may be the thing that is keeping us stuck because we're waiting for situations to be exactly like we think they should be. When in reality, I believe that if if you're going to do it, you're going to do it regardless or irregardless, which is it? Anyway, you're going to do it. And so take your work, your job, your 9 to 5. You go if it's raining, if it's snowing. Some of us used to go when we were sick. If you just went, it wasn't a perfect situation every day for you to go to. And I believe that that's where the learning comes in. And that's what Beyonce talks about in her quote. So I went back to my friend Google Webster, and this is what it said about learning: to gain or acquire knowledge or skill in something by study, experience, or being taught. So if you are waiting for the perfect experience, the perfect fill in the blank, based on the definition that it must be completely free from fault or defects, you may be waiting quite a long time, which could affect your growth, your transformation, your um, aha moment, you expanding your knowledge or a way of thinking because you are waiting for the perfect situation to happen. I think that is where some people get stuck as it relates to love or finding love. And one of the things that I realized is all those expectations that people have about this person who they want in their lives it's probably a good idea that you put yourself up against all those expectations, because the reality, I believe the reality is that we listen, we all got stuff going on. We all jacked up. We all shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's all of that. And so, are we going to be open to the experience just to learn and to grow? Because you looking for A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and O, and P. Maybe A, B, and C are the most important things. So I am not saying not to have standards, not to have non negotiables. Of course, I'm not saying that. But waiting for any perfect situation may keep you stuck, which does not allow you to learn. Or the other word that stood out in this quote from Beyonce, if everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Let's go back to Google. So Google defined grow as, and of a living thing is in parentheses, okay, to undergo natural development by increasing in size and changing physically. The B part of that was progress to maturity. And and so if you're waiting for the perfect situation to happen, which means that you probably gonna be waiting and that is gonna interfere with your learning from experiences that are not perfect, which then is interfering with your growth, which means that you are the same today as you were 3 years ago because you're not learning and growing and expanding and really being open to just what if? What if you meet somebody and they're just a great person, but they're not perfect? But maybe they are perfect for you because you're not perfect either. And by you, I mean me. None of us are. And I've said in one of the earlier episodes that is literally how this podcast came into being, because I had been prepping and preparing and, you know, reading and reorganizing and for a year until Tony Sanders, my coach, after the second coaching session, he was like, okay, when you gonna get started? because I had all the equipment and the name that, you know what I'm saying? I got pictures taken. I had it all, but I'm just waiting. Oh, I need a little bit more. I need to prepare. I need to have this together. I need to know this. No, you don't. Just get started. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to prepare, that you don't need to read, that you don't need to plan. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is give yourself a date. If you're going to, if you want to move to another city, okay, you visited the city, you got, people in the city, you got some job leads in the city, you know, what side of town you want to live in the city. Okay, so what are you waiting on? You want to start a business. You want to start dating. You like whatever it is, fill it in and really start to take some steps in that situation to get you toward your goal, because that's really where the sweetness is. It's not, the sweetness is not in it being perfect and not falling and not stumbling and not growing and not making mistakes. Perfect really is, mistakes are the new black, or the it, or the whatever the new slogan is. Like it really is, because that is where you really see how dedicated you are. You really see how bad you want it. You really see the resources that are out there for you, the people who you might meet, the connections that you might make. Like that is all in you doing it, and doing it even if it's not perfect. And just accepting and embracing that you will make corrections along the way, because that's really what learning is about. I can remember I was in college and I was fussing and this, that, and the other about the teacher. This, it didn't make sense. Me, I'm the student telling the teacher what don't make sense. Hilarious. Um, and so one of my good friends said, find out what the instructor wants and give them that. I was like, what? I mean, listen, it made all the sense in the world. I'm trying to do it in the way that I feel like I should do it. That's not, no. Find out what they want and give them that. So it's not about me trying to do it my perfect way, in the way that makes sense to me and how I want to do it. It's not about that. Find out what they want and give it to them. And when I make that shift of, oh, so it's not about me doing it my way all the time. It's really about me realizing, oh, okay, I can just adjust, which is what you do when things are not perfect, when things are not going as planned. You just adjust. And then it's fine. Perfect example, I was on my way to, I was on my way to charge my car. And I was like, why is it taking me this way? It takes me to 116. Now I'm going back to 100. What is up with that? But you know what? It was some traffic in the way. I didn't know, because I only got a limited amount of information. But I am like, why is it taking me this way? But then I could see a little bit further down the road that it was some police cars. I was like, oh, okay, so let me go this way. So just be open to the experience, really, of life. Make adjustments so that you can learn and grow. Just like Queen Bee said, be like Queen Bee. so that you can learn and grow. So I'm going to put my hat on here because listen, this is my coaching moment, okay? So let's just say that you are a perfectionist. And one of the things that I want you to be open to is not to wear that as a badge of honor. Not to wear, really not to wear, well, I'm not going to go down that road, but not to wear being a perfectionist as a badge of honor. Because it is a label. That's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? You are a beautiful human being who is hopefully kind. But um, so, in thinking about, I want to ask you a question. What do you feel like is keeping you stuck because you're trying to be perfect at it? So that's the first thing. Is what is it? Is it you enjoying your kids or a relationship because you think that they should do this or that in a certain way, and it comes off being very critical and controlling? So what is it that's keeping you stuck? What are your thoughts around something not being quite the way you want it to be before you enjoy it or before you move in a certain direction? So what is that? And then I want you to, I was going to say jump, but that might be it. But take a minute and think about what you would do, and then do the opposite of that. And so here's what I mean. So let me think of a personal example. So something happened this week where I was talking to one of my coaches, and there was a situation that happened. And usually what I do, it was a situation at work. Usually what I do is just talk about the situation to people. Okay. And she was like, well, why don't you have a conversation? And I was like, because that's not what I normally do. And so so if you would normally not have a conversation, I'm going to invite you to have a conversation. If when your kids come in the room, you would normally be like, did you clean up the room? Did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Try, hey, Buzz, how was your day? Come here, give me a hug, whatever it is. Whatever you normally do the opposite. If you normally give people a piece of your mind, do something else. Okay, so that's my coaching moment. My coaching corner for this episode. I hope you got a nugget of learning from the quote from Beyonce: "If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow." Until next time, I'm going to end with my theme song that I wrote. Here it goes.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.